Make sure the space is free around you, nothing that you're going to trip over, but let's get straight down into it. So first things first is we're going to do our wall facing squat. And this one is a very difficult one. This is a pre-test before we go through mobility work. Sean's feet are nice and wide. He's slowly going to squat down with the fingers interlocked behind his head. What he's trying to do here is squeeze his shoulder blades together, and he's also noting where he feels a bit tight. Standing back up, and we're going to do this for 30 seconds. So as you're doing this, guys, obviously you're listening to my voice now because you're possibly facing the wall, is we're going down nice and slowly. Fingers stay interlocked behind the head, driving the knees out. The closer you go to the wall, as you can see here with Sean going to the pole, the harder it's going to be. So note distance from the wall, make sure your feet are wide enough apart, and as you're going down, don't let your face hit that wall, and noting where you're feeling tight. Remember, this is a bit of a pre-test before we actually get into the nuts and bolts of mobility. So we're going to do this again at the end, and we're going to note how much better we feel. Okay, Sean, that's good, guys. Now, we know where we feel. We know we're feeling stiff. Let's go down into a 90-90 pigeon stretch. So pigeon stretch with rotation. So into our pigeon stretch. Now in this position, you can see that Sean's leg is across him, his back leg is dead straight, and then we're going to add in a rotation. So with his right hand, while stretching the right leg, he's going to turn to the side of the side that he's stretching, reaching through the gap, and then turning back and up again. Good, and we're going to do this, guys, for 60 seconds on each side. Breathing steadily. Good stuff, Sean. Keep going, guys, on that same side. Sean is just going to move around and show you the slightly different angles of the stretch. Using your breath, breathing out. So do not hold your breath. So that's one of the keys when you're stretching. You're trying to get your sympathetic nervous system to relax for you. So the best thing to do right now is just breathe normally and exhale on that point where you feel a little bit tight. Another 15 seconds, guys. Sean's enjoying this. Good, breathing out. 7 more seconds on this side, guys. We're going to do 60 seconds on each side. Really good. And let's switch sides there, Sean. So we're going to switch sides, guys, now. And now we're going to do our opposite side. Good stuff, Sean. And off we go. Exhaling at the top. Turning as far through as he can. And as he's turning, he's stretching out little portions of his hip in a different way, while secondly, what Sean is doing as he's rotating with the arm is he's opening up his upper back, he's opening up his T-spine. Keep going, guys, for another 20 seconds. So for today's mobility workout, we're going to be going through some hip stretches for the first half, and then in the second half, we're going to go through some upper body stretches. 8 more seconds. Good stuff, Sean. And rest. Now let's go into our 90-90 position, guys. So sitting on the ground, 90 degrees in the ankle, knee, both knees and both ankles, as you can see here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to try and support ourselves as little as possible with our hands. So first things first, Sean, is try and lift our hands off the ground. And that there is difficult for Sean, so he's going to lean his chest forward towards his right knee. Now the advanced version here, what we're going to try and do is lift the left heel for the next 20 seconds. Here he's activating his left hip, and he's very subtly driving his left knee into the ground while lifting his left foot. Remember, if it's your first time doing this, then just watch the camera and let's learn from Sean's movements. And switch sides, Sean. So flip over, guys. 90-90 position on the opposite side. Leaning your chest forward towards the knee, and off we go, lifting that back heel again. Still breathing through it while lifting that heel. 7 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Now we're going to go into half kneeling hip flexor stretch. So in a half kneeling hip flexor stretch, Sean, he's going to go into his half kneeling position, back toe press into the ground. Fingers into lock behind the head is the key on this one. And now what Sean is going to do is push his hips forward. And now he's going to rotate towards the camera. He's going to smile. And he's going to dip down slightly to the side, square the shoulders back up, face forward again, push the hips forward again. Getting a hip flexor stretch and turn again. We're going to do this roughly 3 to 4 times either side. Keep going, guys, for another 30 seconds. So you probably get actually 3 to 6 really at this rate, looking at Sean. That's good. Open up the T-spine as well. And we'll just do it facing the camera, Sean, as well. Same side, guys. Don't change your position. Sean's just going to change some angles to make it a little bit easier for you to see. So he's pushing his hips forward. And he's still stretching that right hip flexor. Turning the T-spine, dipping down. Excellent, Sean. We'll switch sides now, guys. So switching the legs. Opposite leg. Push the hips forward. Stretch that hip flexor. Turn towards the leg that's out in front. Dip to that side. Stretch out the lats. Engage the serratus anterior, I think is what it's called. Or lat. Part of your upper back. Breathing. So this is one of our favorite ways. This is probably one of my favorite stretches for stretching out when you're sitting at a desk all day, getting tight, because we're stretching out the hip flexors and opening up our upper back. That's it, Sean. Just slowing it down a little bit. Hips go forward, turn, and we dip. Another 10 seconds. Dipping down, push the hips forward still. Squaring back up. And good. Let's go into our baby pose lat stretch, as we call it. So Sean here is going to go nice wide knees, sit back onto his heels. But here, what he's doing is he's gripping the ground with the heel of his hands. And he sits back, gets a stretch in the lat, sits back up a little bit, and goes in and out of that 20 times. So for a course of a minute. So in and out of it, Sean. So here, the idea is, if you had a pull-up bar, you would be at home and you could hang from the pull-up bar and do it that way. If you don't have a pull-up bar, like most of us at home, then what we're doing is we're using this stretch to open up the lats, which is the biggest muscle in our upper body, which runs basically from the back of your shoulder / armpit all the way down into your lower back. Keep going, Sean, for another, say, 15 to 20 seconds. Breathing through it steadily. Sitting right back. So it's that rocking formation. As we rock back, we're opening up those lats that little bit more. 10 more seconds, Sean. 3, 2, 1. Good, guys. Flip onto our bum. Lining it back. We're going to go into our thoracic bridge. Bracing the hands behind us, knees towards our chest, lift the hips up and squeeze those shoulder blades as hard as you can together. This is Sean's most hated stretch. You'll see the smile is wearing off his face now. And what we're doing here is we're opening up the upper back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And we're going to hold this for 20 seconds and 20 seconds of reps. Drive your knees out to open up the hips a bit more. But what's nice about this is we're actually lightly activating the glutes, the hamstrings as well. Lighting up the shoulders while definitely stretching out those pec muscles. Now we're going to do it for 20 seconds of reps. So hips to floor, hips to roof, as high as you can. Exhaling at the top. And don't hold your breath. Again, if you feel yourself shaking, don't worry. What you're doing is you're opening up your shoulders, engaging all those rotator cuffs around the shoulders. Very, very beneficial. And again, don't go so high that it's causing pain. There's a difference between discomfort and pain when you're stretching. 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. We'll flip onto our front, Sean, into our plank off our hands position. We're going to do really wide stance, downward dog with alternating toe tap, guys. So really wide stance. Now, just push the bum into the air, opposite hand, opposite toe. Try your best to keep your hands in the exact same position. So just judge that. And here you'll see Sean's legs are nice and straight. As his bum comes up to the roof, he's stretching out the back of his calves, the back of his hamstrings. And with that rotation, he's hitting a bit of his lats. And again, with some of that rotation in that T-spine. 15 to 20 more seconds, guys. And then we're going to retest our wall facing squat. 10 more seconds. Sean will be only delighted to be finished this. Another round for Sean, he says. 7 seconds, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done, Sean. Okay, let's come up. Let's face that squat rack there, Sean. So let's have a look at Sean first, guys, and then you're gonna try it yourself. So again, just watch up at the camera firstly, and then we'll get you guys at home doing it. Fingers interlocked behind the head, slowly squatting down. Now, do not unlock those fingers. Push the elbows back, going nice and low, driving those knees out. That looks a little bit better to me than the first time, and standing back up. Grip the ground with your toes so you don't fall over. Again, what you're trying to do is note where you're feeling the tightness, because after this video finishes, you might replay it and focus on the areas that you are a little bit more tight. And good. Okay, guys, at home now, let's give that a go. Let's see what we're doing. Take a rest there, Sean. Okay, at home, guys, we're gonna go for another 20 seconds. Again, Sean, just show us the width of your stance there facing the camera. Feet nice and wide, toes out, fingers interlocked, and squat down. So try it there, guys, for another 15 seconds. So against the wall. The closer you go to the wall, the better. Again, the real test is, can you get within 1 to 2 inches of that wall and still be able to squat the depth? Upper back is lighting up as well. This is our favorite one at the gym to kind of test somebody's squat mobility. 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1, and